go, when we are willing to forgive ourselves and we're willing to forgive others and we're willing to forgive our past and willing to ask for forgiveness, then we ultimately tap into bliss. We tap into the truth of what everything is. We tap into the essence of everything. And we get to the heart of the matter, and we actually get to a grounded form so that we're able to receive and able to heal and able to breathe and able to realize and be aware and be cognizant towards everything that we're experiencing. And then we're able to pick ourselves up and have a breakdown that turns into a breakthrough. And when we understand that when we forgive, we allow ourselves to tap into a power that's never been tapped into before. We allow ourselves to unite on a front and to come into unity and come to a greater understanding and a greater wisdom that forgiveness is always key, because it is bliss. It is letting go. It's shedding the layers of skin, but also it's letting go of the chains that are binding us to certain things, the chains that are holding us to certain standards, certain norms, certain realities. When we have the ability to let go, and we have the ability to breathe, and we have the ability to be the growth that we want to be, in forgiveness is bliss. It's letting go. It's realizing that we're breaking the chains that are binding us, that are keeping us stuck, that are keeping us there. And we're able to break through those thresholds, and we're able to transform and have this transmutation of the soul, but also changing the polarity of light and dark and changing the polarity of positive and negative. And forgiveness is the gateway to transformation. Forgiveness, in asking for it, is so powerful. This morning I woke up and I was watering the plants, and in that moment I just asked for forgiveness, and it was breaking off so much inside of me. And it was this deep, profound sense of bliss, and there wasn't any hate or lack or attachment or feeling disconnected, feeling the discord, feeling the dis-ease of life. And it just felt like it was so abrupt, but it was that quick release that allowed that vulnerability to just ask for forgiveness. And it was so powerful and impactful and so direct, and it cut the tension with a knife. And it literally just went through me, and as if I felt like a new person. But it seemed like no matter how emotional we get, no matter how vulnerable we get, no matter how much we let go and transform and progress on the spiritual journey, if we don't have forgiveness, then we're doing ourselves a disservice. It actually allows us to be more of service to the one, allows us to be more of source, it allows us to see source in our own way, but also change the perspective that we have over life now, and understanding that forgiveness is truthfully and honestly the bliss that we're seeking. And when you ask, you are free. You are gifted a new life. You are literally handed the keys to the castle. You are gifted a new heart, a new spirit, and a new body, and a new frame of mind when you're able to forgive. It's so powerful when you just ask that question. And it might be even hard, and it might be even direct, and you might even face some things within yourself. And then after that, when you look yourself in a mirror and you're unable to look away, and you're finally able to accept that person that's looking back at you, there's a deep sense of purification. There's a deep sense of realization. There's a deep sense of that we are all forgiven. But sometimes we haven't forgiven ourselves. Sometimes we've never even asked for forgiveness. And sometimes we've never even thought of giving ourselves that moment of forgiveness. So we can release the pain, let go of the pain, let go of the heartache, let go of the abuse and the trauma that we've experienced, and change the experience here and now. And then we let go, and we have a renewed heart and a renewed state of being. It gives us such an awareness and clarity that we let go and see that that gives us the transformation that we need, because it's changing our mind, our body, and our spirit in the essence of who we are. It gives us a new essence. It gives us a new state of being. It gives us a new state of consciousness, that we're able to see through the veils of limitation, of expectation, by having a good attitude and gratitude and appreciation for what's here, instead of always looking back in the rearview mirror and seeing what you used to be and being disgusted with that, but also accepting what was looking back at you in the rearview mirror. And it's seeing that you had to accept the person that you were in order to accept the person that you are now. And there was just this sense of like really letting go, really being pure, being really honest with yourself and with everyone. And it's just like, no matter what you have done, no matter what you have went through in your life, no matter any sicknesses or anything that you want to be in this moment, you can just give yourself that and just ask that I love to have forgiveness for the first time. I love to forgive other people. I love to forgive everything that I've ever experienced, even if I attracted it to myself. That if I forgive here and now, then I am truly free to do the things that I want to do. And I don't have to live in these false narratives, and I don't have to live in this false sense of security. And then when you ask that sentence, when you ask that question, and even ask it as if it's a statement, even if it's an affirmation, you literally, in that moment, are changing your life. You're changing the direction of it, and you're changing the energetic bondages or cords, and you're breaking the chains that are binding you to what you can't forgive and what you think is unforgivable. What you think and assume is unforgivable becomes very forgivable. And this morning I just did that while I was watering the plants. And it was just this deep sense of release. It was this deep sense of letting go. It was this deep sense of vulnerability. But it was just literally forgiving everything. Even in your past lifetimes, even in your trauma, even in the times where you may have hurt people and you didn't even realize it. And knowing that there's not a grudge held against you when you're forgiving, when you ask for forgiveness. When you allow for forgiveness, you're allowing for the reception to happen. And you're allowing yourself to transmute those energies, those polarities, those patterns and configurations of energy. And you allow yourself in that moment to really ask yourself, do I have the ability to let go here and now? Do I have the ability to forgive? Do I have the ability to allow for the reception? And when you forgive here and now, that means you are set free. That means you are gifted a new life. That means you are the manifestation of life, and you are the image of the I am presence. I am because you are, and you are because I am. It's a very profound thing to say, because when you do this, it just feels like a greatest gift that you could ever been gifted. And the weight has been lifted. And it's very beautiful in that moment when you are able to forgive and know that it's bliss when you forgive. Know that letting go is transformation. And then when you allow yourself to confirm and affirm what you are in this moment, to take action, to take accountability and responsibility for anything that you've ever experienced, and just being able to forgive it. In my case, I was asking for it. But some of you could forgive another person, and it can change a whole slew of things that you're experiencing. Sometimes you could forgive a trauma or an illness that you have and literally be healed from it. Healing comes in many different forms. Empowerment comes from many different forms, and motivation doesn't just come from saying positive stuff. But motivation can literally be the sound of freedom in that moment, of that state of forgiveness. of letting go, of purifying everything. And just taking that deep breath and giving yourself that peace, knowing that you don't have to hold on to anything. You don't have to be attached to anything. And there's not a grudge held against you, and you don't have to hold grudges, because that takes too much time and energy to have anger over this and anger over that, or being mad because this thing isn't working, or having unfulfillment because you don't do certain things that other people don't do, or you don't have that job yet, or you don't know how to deal with life as a whole. But when we have forgiveness towards everything, whether it's our circumstances, experiences, or trauma, or healing, or unwilling to receive, we allow ourselves to transform in that moment. We allow ourselves to be humble. We allow ourselves to have grace. And we allow ourselves to really go from our state of consciousness and from our heart centers, then coming from a state of complacency. And I think the intentionality of it, or the causality of it, is being truthful, being honest with yourself, being honest with the universe, and being honest with God's source energy and the great I am. And some of you, if you're watching this, if you have a different belief system or you believe in Christianity, it doesn't matter. Source can touch you in all ways, through music, through a movie, through this life. Forgiveness comes in all ways. And it just doesn't come one way. But it's a 3-way, 4-way, 5-way street. Forgiveness. And when you do that, then you have let go, really. You've let go of any bondages, any crisis, any questions. And you're not letting anything linger anymore when you forgive and you let it go. And you just have that purified state of looking at your reflection. Seeing yourself in a different reflection, seeing yourself in a different light, seeing yourself endowed in that light, and then choosing to live and choosing to be here and choosing to be present towards everything, and understanding if we forgive, then we are being honest and truthful and wise and loving when we choose to forgive, because forgiveness is the ultimate bliss that can be given to us. It's what I discovered this morning. So we're going to do some healing energy. If you guys want to take part in this healing energy, this is White Wolf. I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to do healing energy about forgiveness, about letting go, about tapping in, being pure with ourselves, but being gentle and being patient with ourselves, and using this healing energy to offer up forgiveness for the entire universe. So if you want to take part in this healing energy, feel free to do so. This is White Wolf. You can also book private sessions with me. If you go to my page, I do have a 40-minute special. So without further ado, this is White Wolf. God bless. And I would say we're going to do some healing energy, so feel free to allow yourself to let go. Feel free to be yourself. And feel free to tap into this bliss that is forgiveness. And let's just shed layers, let's just let go, and let's just forgive our past traumas, forgive our thought processes, forgive the people that have hurt us in the past, and maybe the people that we've hurt. And let's just allow ourselves to let go of the burden and not have to carry the weight of that any longer, and just allowing ourselves to really truthfully live our lives without feeling condemned, without feeling like we're being put on trial, and that we don't have a grudge against us, and we don't have to hold a grudge against others any longer. And just allow yourself to tap into your heart. Allow yourself to be gentle with yourself. And let's just embrace the divine feminine. Embrace that fertile egg of creation. And allow fertility to run its course. And let's also ground deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Archangels, love and light, who's willing to cleanse us of our work field, tapping into God's source energy and the great I am. Diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth. Grounding back into the earth. Allow yourself to feel the grace and the release and the very fact that we're able to move on and progress even further and be with our emotional sensitivities, but not feel like we have to be attached to anything. But the only thing that we have the recognition of is tapping into our energy, being pure with that, being wise and loving towards that, and just opening up and being sincere and being gracious to just understand that once we ask for forgiveness, we are forgiven. We have already been forgiven, but we need that recognition of it. We need to know the knowledge of it, and we need to have the understanding about it. So therefore, when we utter that sentence, we literally are projecting out into the universe that we're not holding on to anything, that there is no energies being put towards the unforgiveness, that there's not any negative energies being projected, but there's only loving, positive energies, and you just bless everything that you have forgiven. And you have love towards all of the challenges, all of the suffering, all of the times where you needed to heal. You have just a love and an admiration and a respect for it. Because it is just part of the journey. It is a part of growing, and it is just a part of letting go as a whole. So there's these beautiful energies coming in, a rainbow energy, all the way to the feet, all the way up through the chakras, through the top of our head. And then it has this outline of this beautiful violet flame around it. But then there's also these like gold bars that are around the rainbow energy, just as a way of protection, but also just a way of tapping into that bliss. And in this moment, you can just literally have forgiveness for yourself. Forgive yourself. Don't hold anything against yourself. Don't be mean towards yourself. And just release. And just let go. And just be. It's all okay. It's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be emotional even. Because those are all the things that actually make us pure. That's the stuff that makes us really humble. And that's the stuff that allows us to bridge the gap. But today is a new day. Be the blessed indeed. Be wise and loving. And just go about your day with a renewed heart, with a renewed body, and with a renewed spirit. And I am because you are, and you are because I am. Mary Magdalene and Quian has stepped forth, helping us release karmic imbalances. Mary Magdalene is coming in with purification and really tapping into the divine feminine. And we have the gold Atlantean dragon helping us balance our masculine and feminine by helping us to be a collective consciousness. And then Jesus is coming in to step forth and just to allow His love and to allow His grace to shine over, and just to activate our heart chakras, to activate the throat and activate the third eye and the causal. And there's also light codes being sent out and different frequencies from different dimensions. I'm hearing the 8th and the 9th. The Galactic Federation of Light, Ashgar Command, helping us tap into authority, helping us tap into wisdom, and helping us with our telepathy, but also how to interpret messages in unity. Everyone take one last deep breath. Release. And so it is. So, as we were doing that live, and I hope it was very impactful and powerful for all of you. So thank you for stopping by. This is White Wolf, and forgiveness is bliss. Forgiveness is the first step to bliss, and sometimes it can be the very thing that we need to release stuff and to be vulnerable and to embrace our emotional sensitivities. So, thank you guys. God bless. Namaste. This is White Wolf signing off. And so it is. See you guys.